shit at all on stream.
You mean about the incident? All right, let me throw you one better. Welcome, friends, to New Game Plus, a D&D 5e game about gods and time and all that shit. I never actually checked if we're live. Okay, someone's in chat, so we must be live. Allow me to posit this. Raddosaurus has proposed a high-level new theory of how we run shows. We tried it on Battletech. Some people liked it, some people didn't like it. Let me throw it to you guys here. We do outros only at the end of the show in the last 30 minutes to 20 minutes. We just get started immediately right now.
Let's just do it, man. Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna blow everybody's mind then. There's gonna be people on YouTube that are gonna be looking for the skip introductions button.
Skip the endings.
Not gonna be there.
The other thing to note is this episode is only gonna be a one-parter because we're only doing the first 2 hours. So it'll be slightly less than 2 hours. We almost got started on time, but it was entirely my fault. Friends, previously on this show, you almost got disqualified from a cooking contest before winning it with a fire giant double-cut swordsman named Krymar.
Krymar.
No. You're what to describe Kelly as? Your Kelly learned more about.
I prefer the pronoun R. Kelly, actually.
Okay.
Are
you sure you prefer that?
You might want to roll that one back.
I know that's a bold and controversial stance. So
it's a nice pun. You have to give me that one.
I'm not giving you anything, man. Put that in the dumpster, like right where I put our Kelly.
FBI, open up.
Yeah, exactly. You learn more about Telosian, who's a previous wielder of your Sword of Glory, Alcar. You learned a little bit more about Alcar, and you learned nothing about yourself because Alcar tried to cut into your memories, and it was so incredibly painful, you were knocked unconscious.
Alcar cut into your past and saw your goatee and was like, whoa.
Hey, man. You gotta do what you gotta do, you know?
Yeah, we're joined today by Henley from ModDB. That's...
It's true.
Dave from ModDB, please.
Oh, yeah, sorry, Dave from ModDB.
That was such a fucking surreal experience, but anyway.
Save it for the outro. Let's go.
The thing that we have left after... well, we also did the silly walks. We told stories.
Right.
Stories were swapped. I believe the final thing that was on our list was communing with the Archfey, the unnamed mask. Daka wanted to go see this particular individual.
I was gonna ask him if I stole his identity.
Walk me through how you're gonna do this.
Well, the ritual.
Yeah, what's the ritual look like? Where do you go to do it? Right, like you guys live basically
silly
out the back of a wagon here. How silly is
we're
your
the
walk?
OG van life people, is what we are.
Probably like.
I mean, you're itinerant adventurers, right? You wander around.
Old Daka would have hotboxed the cart. Okay.
Yeah.
New
What does
Daka
New Daka
probably
do?
just like sits there and like.
I don't know what he was smoking, but I'm in.
So you like sitting in a field, maybe next to some large stones or wildlife or something?
Yeah, I'll probably like pull like some purple crystals out of my shoulders and whatnot and like place them around me.
Okay, interesting.
Is that the equivalent of like cutting off a dreadlock and putting it on the ground and doing something?
Basically, Daka inside, like I might save it. Actually, I'm going to save it for when I use a spell that I've never used that I might only use very sparingly.
I love the idea that you're like, I've been waiting my whole life to unseal the power of this spell. Go, dark fire of Atlantis! It was only meant to be used one time.
Yeah. I've got a spell on my list that I've never used, and
out of respect for this, I'm not going to look up and see what spell it is. I want to be surprised like the audience. What isn't surprising is that after a few minutes, from your point of view, of meditation, you open your eyes and you are in that in-between expanse where you go to travel. It is...
And my stones have turned into like purple flowers that have grown out.
Purple-orange night sky rather than the darkness of the competition that you had just been at, of the dance. There is unusual wildlife everywhere. butterflies that have never seen the light of day, foxes with 3 tails, satyrs dance just at the edge of your vision, and you are seated on a rock in the middle of a grassy field with flowers of different colors at every clock position, like pie wedges. You look down, and the rock you're sitting on is, in fact, a mask.
I'm sitting on his face. There's a.
Yeah, I didn't want to say it like that.
Yeah.
So I guess I'll get up and address them like, hello. It's been a while.
When you say that, there's rustling coming from the trees, and from the 6 o'clock position, stepping into this field of flowers, the flowers bend out of the way, is a simple white robe figure. I would say if you've seen Tron 2, or I guess it's called Tron Legacy, like old evil white dude, where he's just like in the white robes. I can't remember the name of that actor. The dude?
Yeah, no.
Oh, Jeff Bridges.
Jeff
Jeff
Bridges.
Bridges,
It's
yeah.
Jeff Bridges, but instead of the Jeff Bridges face, it's the unnamed mask's typical painted white wooden mask.
It's like your
Sorry,
opinion,
I'm just imagining Jeff Bridges with a mask on sitting there with a white rush.
Yeah, drinking a
He's
white
got his
Russian.
beard sticking out the bottom. He's got his white Russian.
There's no white Russian, there's no beard, none of that happens. Very
On my
serious.
carpet,
Underneath the
man.
mask was a rug that he was sitting on. You know, it really
Look,
made
man, it
the
really
room.
tied the room together.
Daft Punk is doing their thing over the corner.
It's a great album.
Look,
It is.
if there is
Number
any...
13 is in the corner being herself. You know, like
I feel like
yeah, it's good.
Enya and Daft Punk would both qualify to play at the Fey Realms.
I would really love for there to be a fucking Daft Punk cameo in this campaign.
Yeah, the flowers bow out of the way, moving sideways to allow him to pass between them as he walks towards you. And it says, "You have need of me."
This is new. When did you get this?
Your power grows.
I've noticed they think I'm you.
Why would you think that you are not? You are one.
I was just confused about my corporeal being and how this all relates. I thought Riverin was you, not me was you.
Riverin is us. And that human woman, what was her name again?
I don't remember.
Exactly.
No, that wasn't her name.
Marie, maybe?
It's inconsequential. She was merely the carrier for the spawn of a god.
The holy vessel.
Well,
She
Guess
and
that-
the memories of her life are gone now, left in the past.
so I assume this is the same thing that Stalin Black had, but now he doesn't.
Solvin Black's situation and ours are quite different. Solvin Black and his compatriot, who I will not name here, have a situation very much like Riverin and myself. I can, from time to time, embolden her actions directly. She has been created in my image, lacking a soul into which I can place myself.
Do you know exactly what I am or was?
You are what you have always been, minus me.
See, there's the rub. I do not know who that is. It's a thing that can put on different different masks, if you will. But I don't know where they came from, what their true mission is.
He gestures, and as he does, from out of the holes in the mask rock that you're standing next to, vines begin twisting out, and from those vines sprouts orange grass, which then turn into 2 seats. He says, sit with me.
All right, he sits down.
Your chairs are angled, so you're not looking directly at each other. They're like 45 degrees off.
They're like movie having coffee angles.
Yes, exactly. And he says, when we were us, we were transiting, not space, but time, sent by the one who became our father, forward to when we would be needed to make the decision. But our mind was curious in a way that the others were not. And we saw an opportunity. A way to break free of the vessel upon which we were transporting forward. I am your curiosity. I have been in this world from its perspective for several hundred years, over 200. During this time, I have slain those who stand against me and taken on new form to rule over the unruly, to bring order to the disorderly. Now all Fae answer to one court, mine. There will be a time when our powers need unite. The question is, if you are still worthy of my support. I sense disloyalty in you. Our opinions no longer overlap in a way I would have expected.
Well, we are our own people.
Oh, others are their own people. We're one.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, we've been on the same page, except for one time. I closed a door that you would have left open that would cause some trouble.
I cannot deny that it is now in my nature to bring mischief and mayhem where I pass. As I act upon these realms, they have also acted upon me.
Sometimes I disagree if mischief is the right tactic.
Perhaps this is where we have diverged.
Perhaps.
All I ask is that you remember where your power comes from.
That's
You have
precisely,
bargained with me.
That's precisely the issue. I don't remember, or I don't trust what I remember.
That is good. Your memory has been corrupted. The deal that you have made with your sister has corrupted all of you.
We made a deal with death?
You did? I am forced to accept some measure of constraint because we are one as a result.
Well, at least there's some information. She's been searching for us. We haven't met of any of her cultists in a while, but
There was a time when you were stronger than what you are now. You arrived in this time, in this place, in your full power, as champions, as archangels, as demigods. And the goddess of death slew all of you with the fullness of her power. It was nothing for the goddess of death to do so. The problem, of course, was that the next second you awoke, and she slew you again, and you awoke. An unacceptable repetition began to happen. You could never die, and she could never kill you. Nothing would ever move forward again under such circumstances. A bargain was struck. When you pass, something is taken from you to constrain these boundaries. Pieces of her power encapsulate you. Your minds break under the weight of death now. The bargain is a gambit on her part, in the hopes that one day you will be so insane that you will accept death truly and choose not to be reborn. Your memories are taken from you when you have reached full insanity. The cycle that you and your companions now encounter is because all four of you reached the peak of insanity at the same time, with the same deaths.
But we still can't die, so what does that mean?
Do you not fear the pain of death? Do you not lament that nothing you do matters? I would hope not, for our combined survivals rest on your resilience.
The only fear I hold in death is the memories I make along the way I keep. No one that I made the memories with does.
There are ways to recover such memories. Others among you have summoned forth power to bring the past with them, different ways. Such things may be possible for you. Such things may be more than possible for you. There are ways to take from them their power and give it to you. I can teach them to you for a price.
Maybe
Teach
later.
you.
Spootnik was just like, oh shit.
That would be 250,000 bells, please.
The dark side of the Fae is a pathway to abilities many would consider to be unnatural.
Diagonal wipe to like 30 years from now, Daka shows up with a bag full of turnips.
Oh my god.
I've come to bargain, motherfucker.
Don't come to my fucking island with that shit.
But it seems like we need to have a conversation with Death, so I'm gonna cut off and go tell the others.
Safe travels.
Well, they will be safe. You gave them to me, or I took them from you.
So
Us?
everything
This is very confusing.
collapses in on you. You watch as the sky begins to fold. It's like the scene in what's that movie? Interstellar, where they're like,
yeah.
"Oh, there's mountains in the distance," and then they're like, "Oh shit, that's a wave." Like everything begins to wave up until it's just you, him, and all of reality beginning to collapse down on you, and you wake up in the morning.
Cool.
Hey, you're finally awake.
You know, I fucking love that shit.
There's a great rule. It's like a ship post. It talks about it's like, wow, we should take like get like a drug addict and just like force him to play Skyrim for X amount of days, like rewarding them with drugs.
Oh yeah, I saw that. To drop him in,
and then drop him in northern Scandinavia.
No,
with the weapon and see what
terrible.
happens. I know, but it's funny in a really fucked up way.
The rest of you, unless there's anything else you wanted to do throughout the midnight, wake up in the morning. Some of you had more to drink than others. Some of you had more dancing with your secret ghost succubus incubus boyfriends.
I'm not naming any names.
Yeah, I'm not naming any
choosing.
names. Look, anybody can get in that kind of relationship.
Kelly does not kiss and tell.
Do not kink shame the Dragonborn. Okay?
Finley, when you wake up in the morning, I believe we've established that you now sleep naked in a field.
Yes.
You had to think about that
how
one.
else can he feel the daisies between his butt cheeks? Yeah.
Between you and the town, at a respectful distance where in the morning sunlight one might not be able to look upon your form laying in high grass, someone has laid 2 large wooden bowls piled with fruits and vegetables and a little bit of meat. When I say large bowls, I'm talking like all 4 of you could consume all of this food.
Like potluck size bowls.
We're talking like 4,000 kilocalories in these bowls, right?
Yeah, like
of fruits and vegetables.
like a southern potluck, giant.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, like it's a reference.
And there's no seasonings, there's no spices, there's no sauces. Everything's raw, but it's food and it's a lot of it.
Right.
We all in the same vicinity when we
No.
wake up? Like, what's the deal there?
We've established you guys
3 of us
all
are-
kind of sleep a distance away from each other. I think Agrim said he sleeps in the wagon.
I sleep either in the wagon or near the wagon, but
Yeah.
I've been watching Kelly all night. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I was watching the satyr that popped up. That's what I was watching.
Yeah, so if I remember correctly, I was in a state of distress because I was left waning from the incubus.
But you wandered off, but then you came back.
I think I slept sitting up. Like I I did the meditation thing and fell asleep, and then just woke up still sitting there.
I might have fallen asleep at the table because I was sitting at a table drinking, watching the satyr. I might have fallen asleep at the table, but I usually do sleep in the wagon because I fit.
Yeah.
Put your head under the wagon.
Or I sleep under the wagon, whichever. I mean,
Yeah.
I usually sleep near it,
So you guys don't sleep near each other. You sleep
Not
a
necessarily.
distance away.
wherever
this
we
town
happen to lie.
feels pretty safe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it's safe insofar as it is on the border, and less than a day's travel away, there's thousands of men with arms ready to kill everyone here. But other than that,
We
I
did.
mean,
Irrelevant.
that's everywhere, though.
We did nuke the nearest threat, like literally nuke it.
I do sleep with a death grip on my hammer, though, as a habit.
Well, I mean, that's a little too
I'm
much
not-
information, but that's fine.
I was gonna say cuddling it, but I was like, I'm sitting at a table.
you're saying you have a very special relationship with your hammer, and the loss of the hammer is like the loss of a loved one.
like loss of a limb.
Your
really.
hammer tugs you off.
Oh god.
Arthur, can you remind me, does the fact that I'm this hex blade, can I summon the blade now? Is that...
Yeah.
Yeah,
I don't remember
so I
what
can
level
never lose
Did
it?
you? Did you take Pact of the Blade?
I don't. How many levels do you
I
have in
don't
Hex
know.
Blade?
I'm level 2 now in that, so...
I think as part of Hex Warrior, you might get it.
I don't know. It's
I
been
don't-
so long since we sat down and actually...
Yeah, I don't remember what level you actually get the ability. It's because it's like the Eldritch Knight one where you can, like, you can just summon it. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think
level
it's-
3, you'll
it's
have
level
Pact of the Blade, where you can summon your blade from
Yeah, you store it.
ethereal
Okay, so I
nothingness.
don't have it right now.
You don't have it
You
yet.
Yeah, you would store it in a extra
Store
dimensional
dimension.
space.
Oh, good. Oh, good.
Yeah.
Oh,
same
so
thing with
Pact
Eldritch
Boon,
Knight.
is that what it is?
Yes,
Yeah,
at level 3.
Yeah.
You have to take, if you want to do that, you have to take the blade one rather than book or chain.
What was... yeah, okay, I'll have to look into that because it's super confusing. But anyway, it's fine. Continue, please. I'll look it
Anyway,
up.
Daco would probably go relieve Agrim of satyr duty.
Oh, I've probably passed out at this table, like
Yeah,
somewhere near, like, because we were around this big ass. I assume just like when in the south, it's like, oh, let's have a thing. Let's just take a bunch of wooden pallets, put diesel on it, set it on fire.
Yeah.
I'm just at like a picnic table, just like hammer in one hand, empty cup, empty mug of ale in the other, and then just dozing, drooling on the table.
Yeah. Well, like Daco would like walk around, go find Agrim. If he finds him asleep, then like probably
Poke him from a distance.
either like come across Kelly somewhere or like come across Spooty somewhere. Finley.
Well, I know Kelly had wandered off and then came back, so I don't know where Kelly passed out at.
Yeah. I'd be looking for a familiar face.
Yeah. Well, I would be asleep at a table near the, I assume, still
Just roll a
smoking.
D4
fire.
or something like that, man. I don't know. D3. Roll a D3. I'm 1, Spooty's 2, Atomic's 3. Yeah.
Well, like I already found Agram. He's asleep. So like,
I haven't left the spot I was sitting at when you asked me to watch the satyr.
So
alright, I'll find Henley or I'll find Kelly.
let me be clear about the satyr's activities. It spends all of its time playing practical jokes on people and doing things like tapping them on the shoulder and then quickly moving to the other side so that when they turn, no one's there. Yeah. And then when they turn again, like turn back, the satyr's directly in front of them.
Yeah, the satyr is voiced by Ashton Kutcher. I get it.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, Doc had just asked me to make sure it didn't do any like that's okay.
It
whatever.
hasn't eaten any of the children it's spending its time with.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Stuff like that, or like summoning things, or whatever fuckery, right? We would classify it as work fuckery. Let's just say.
As the sun slips over the horizon, the satyr disappears. It enfolds itself down into a ball and rolls through the grass, and then it just disappears at some point.
A satyr, Sonic the or is it Sonic the Hedgehog? That works.
I would
better.
say more like Samus, but yes.
Okay. I mean, either or. They're both balls of thing.
I'll come across Kelly in their woes of being rejected.
Yeah, I've got like a daisy, and I'm just like plucking it.
He loves me. He loves me not. He loves me not.
I was like,
if Kelly gets the last petal into "Love Me Not," just like another petal pops out because like I prestidigitate one there,
and I look at it and I just put it in my mouth and I start chewing sadly. I'm just like, hey, what up?
It's prestidigitation, so it dissolves in your mouth tastelessly, but
just like my love life, I suppose.
Wow.
No, it would be
yikes.
It would be the good one, like the last one would be like, they love me.
I mean, as someone who's eaten flowers before, most of them taste bitter, so I mean, I guess that works.
I'm just trying to make Kelly feel better. Like you see,
this is a supernatural yearning. There is no feeling better from this, my man.
I'll just like sit down and like clap a hand on your shoulder, be like, I had a wife once.
I know.
I don't remember what her name is, but
yeah,
she's a really good friend of mine. I'm actually really annoyed at you that you don't write her, to be honest with you.
I forgot her name earlier today.
it's a different timeline, so even if you wrote her, she'd have no fucking idea who you are.
That doesn't matter.
I'm pretty sure
I
she
say to the clouds, shaking my fist. You can't give up on love, really. Honestly, you can't.
I'm not even saying I give up. I said I don't remember. I don't remember a whole lot. What about you?
I pick up another daisy and I'm just like, start plucking it again.
If you start plucking stuff, I just like pick you up by the shoulder, like, come on, going fishing, and just take you to the watering hole and we'll fish.
Okay.
Begrudgingly go fishing.
Begrudgingly, yeah. So I don't know. What you tell me about the deaf thing?
Yeah. I'll tell you like the whole thing. Like apparently, I am the aspect of the Archfey, and I have access to specific powers. And at some point, I might be the full Archfey, depending on how powerful we become. Also, the whole death has killed us so many times, and like the whole unstoppable force, immovable object dichotomy that happened.
So I'm going to be like, well, I think it's about time. Allow me to introduce my beloved Alcar the Glorious. And I pull out this sword and I'm just like, say hello, Alcar.
As you pull the blade out, along the length of the blade, it's like Damascus steel. It's a fucking rainbow of color along it. Even when the blade is still, it still shimmers and moves.
Like that oil sheen type of.
Yeah, it's
I
like
mean,
a holographic effect. And
I
you're
remember
like,
that sword.
why is
We
it
got
still
it-
moving?
We got it from the cursed library, and Agram got the box, and then traded in for the horse. Weird trade, by the way.
Weird trade.
So,
You know what they say, never look a gift box in the mouth.
got him. So Alka here has been helping me uncover things. So far, he has yet to be successful in any attempts, but if you'd like, we can try it now again. Maybe see what happens. I'm a little lethargic, so maybe he would be able to do a bit more prying this time.
Sure. I mean, is this like cutting into Daka's memory or cutting into yours again?
Alcar answers, but of course only you can hear him in your mind, and he says, oh, I can cut into this guy's memory. It'll be a little bit, you know, there could be some permanent damage, but it's fine. Just hold me steady.
Permanent damage. A little late, my man.
If you'd like, we can do it to your memories, or we can do it to mine, or we can do it to anyone's, really.
Oh, since I don't remember things, and Agram's told me that there's little blue people in our past, maybe there's something back there that we can learn.
Little blue people. I'm just hearing Eiffel 65 in my head now. Thanks for that.
So basically, I ask Alka in my mind is like, are you able to put me in his memory so I can see what he sees?
Alcar says, no, I can tell you what I see while I am there.
Well, okay. What happens if you see me in those memories? Will that memory have memories of you? I don't know how that works.
No, we have
Okay,
only
then.
just made our pact. The memory would have no memory of that memory.
Well, it seems like I've made conscious efforts to talk to other creatures of your type before.
There is
So
nothing
I was-
like me. I'm one of a kind.
So you and I haven't met previously?
As I mentioned, no, we have not.
Interesting.
And just imagine the memory of a memory of a memory comment, just like those
My God.
equations floating in front of Kelly's face.
All right, so imagine you're sleeping in a motel bed,
No.
and then I stab him in the back of his head. No.
Wow.
Wow.
I escalated
No,
quickly.
I mean, Alcar will
So
guide
ha-
you through it.
Yeah. All
right,
If you're willing, drummer.
Yeah, let's do it.
Okay.
I need you to make an insight check, Henley, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw, Daka, as he takes the blade and puts it to where one would assume a third eye would be, and pricks into your stone skin hard enough that
Yeah.
you feel a little bit of blood.
Are these assisted?
No.
No. Okay.
Well, good thing I took the proficiency for con saves last time.
This game is just not friendly to me today, is it?
There we go.
Daka,
Wow.
Kelly falls over in front of you, and the sword remains floating on your forehead. Kelly is now unconscious on the ground, and as Kelly slumps, you begin to experience the memories that Kelly should be getting via her projector system. You see, from your own eyes, you can feel that you are wearing the head of a black dragon as a helm.
Mm.
And when you hold your hands up, you have dragon claws down. Like, you've taken a live dragon, killed it, and then turned its claws into like extended claw weapons.
Then like the little blade comes out and the doom music starts playing.
You have arm wraps, you have leg
it's the
wraps.
Doom rap that plays.
You feel stronger, healthier, and younger than you do now. And you see Kelly wearing all black armor with like a unicorn horn coming from his helm. He is elven, And he turns towards you and points his sword and says, "You have fallen, Daka. You are insane. Solvent Black is the only solution. We have to end this and kill the gods, starting with her." And as he starts walking towards you, the two of you begin fighting. And you're like, oh shit, am I fighting? And like your body is moving, but you have no control over it because it's just a memory for you. And you're like, you're doing some insane monk shit. You're continuously disarming Kelly. Kelly is just trying to get in there with the unicorn horn head bash. Lightning and thunder begin pouring down around you as you see that you're standing at the top of a mountain on some sort of wooden platform that's rickety. You're like running along the edge of the platform's railing, and Kelly is just like smashing everything in sight so that you'll fall down. At some point you hear yourself say, "No, it is you who has fallen. She has tricked you. You have fallen to your madness. I am the sane one." And like lightning comes down and hits you, and then you punch him with the lightning fist, and both of you are like, "Ah!" And then you snap back to the current present right now. The sword falls.
Just repeat what Kelly looked like in this, because I don't think I've seen.
This is
with the
not
unicorn
Kelly you've seen
horn.
before. This is Elven Kelly wearing like Dark Knight armor, all black, plate mail, and a helm with a unicorn horn coming out of it. This is like
Stylish.
if Kelly was super gothic Dark Knight.
But a unicorn.
The horn of a unicorn.
It's like Endgame Final Fantasy 14 when everyone is a player character.
Yeah.
And they're on this
Oh my god.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about.
yeah. Bunny girl, unicorn armor man.
Guy who's literally wearing a coat with a red dragon on it, made
Yeah.
entirely out of black leather.
Yeah. So is this like, you said it was a memory, but there was like a weird thing happening? Like, I'm getting the memory that,
No,
Kelly
this
should
is
get?
your past memory.
oh, okay.
This is all from your point of view as a dragon monk.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
I didn't know that was a thing either. That's cool.
The more you know.
Now, as you're coming to remembrance, you've seen from a distance where you believe that mountain to be. It is over top of the Dwarven Peaks. It's one of their highest peaks. That's where you believe this fight took place. But that's hundreds of miles from you now.
Doc will remember this, and like, that's another location we'll go.
The best one of those is when, was it Tales from the Borderland? Handsome Jack looks up in the corner. He's like, "Hey, what is that?"
Yeah. Tales from the Borderlands was
It was
such
the
a-
best one, easily.
It was the best one.
That was the
Easily,
problem.
yeah.
Is that was the one I played first, and then I played several of the other ones. So I was like, "Fuck, these suck compared to Tales from the Borderlands. These are shit."
Dude, I remember going into that game being like,
Yeah, I
and
was like,
then
there's
coming
no
out
way
of
it's
it
gonna
just
be
being
good.
like,
Whoa, yeah.
The soundtrack was super good.
oh yeah, and the fucking turnaround, oof.
Catch a rat.
Yeah, it was good. It was a good one. Anyway, hey,
Dr.
Kelly will
Wicks,
never be able to see into her past.
Dr.
never
Wicks
mind.
up like humming the Holy Diver song.
Holy dive.
I mean,
Dude, man, don't even start with the Dio, man. Hit me right in the feels every time.
but like, is the sword like still floating like in my forehead, or is it on the ground now?
By the time you snap back into consciousness, the sword has fallen to the ground between you and Kelly.
Did I see Kelly fall over, or was
Yes,
I
that
already,
was the
like-
last thing you saw before you were entrapped in your own memory.
So after that whole thing is over, I'll like shake my head a bunch and like try to get Kelly up.
I'm probably just like snoring, like.
I mean, with a quick shake, you reawaken.
All right, hold still. Let's do this.
You fell asleep.
You can hear Alkar's voice in your mind, even though you're not touching him. He's like, no. I have to suggest at least 4 hours between periods of attempting this. Bad for your health.
We have
There are side effects.
It's like being unconscious. It's really bad for you.
Don't do it more than 3 times in one day. It's bad.
Well, what did you see?
Pick
If
me up.
anything.
Pick me up.
I pick him up.
Okay, put me back in my sheath. It's really wet out here. There's too much mold and mildew and Mountain Dew and
I pull out like I
Some
use
weird
a bit of
orange
this
chip. I don't know what it is. but-
silk dress that I'm wearing, and I just like sort of
Spicy.
wipe him down a little bit. You
yeah,
know?
yeah.
and
He's
put
like,
him
yep,
back in his
that's
sheath.
yeah, good.
How many different versions of Daka or of Kelly has Daka seen? Were you like, because there was like you do spells and stuff that
It's
bring out,
probably close to like 30, 40-ish at this
Yeah.
point, I think.
yeah, and like
like-
of all the Kellys I've seen, none of them matched the one that I saw in the memory.
Oh, what did she look like?
Black armor, a
Nice.
horn. We were fighting.
Okay.
You were trying to kill
Why?
me.
That doesn't seem like something I'd do. I mean, to be fair, if we fought, I would win. No offense or nothing, but I would definitely win.
We were fairly even matched in the dream, but I agree you would probably win now.
I mean, the only way that you would ever beat me is if you were a dragon or something like that.
Well, I didn't see myself, but there was black dragon armor involved.
Man, one of these days I'm going to actually see into this thing. I'm going to be so cool. Was
One of
I
these
cool at
days.
least? Was that cool at least?
We were
Come on.
both very cool, but you were trying to kill me because you wanted to kill the gods, and I was convinced that we needed to kill Stalvin Black, much like I am now.
I
And we
mean,
were fighting
well,
over that.
You do remember that's originally what I thought would be a good idea. And I still think it is a way to solve all of these problems.
I just think doing what Stalvin Black wants to do, I don't trust him.
Well, I mean,
And going so
There's
far
no-
as
there's
killing the
no
gods
reason-
seems like a very irresponsible and irreplaceable thing to do. Like the only reason the gods existed is because an older one died.
well, I mean, this is evidence enough. Look around you. These people are living perfectly fine without.
I'm gonna look
Divine
over and
intervention.
see the destitute village that we've been staying in for the past couple days.
I like put my arm around him. It's like, I mean, sure, the people that have divine intervention obviously live better, but you haven't been a devoted person like I have. It is a different path altogether. You know, it's a strange thing to say, but there's something freeing about not being like driven and attached to a particular idea. I distinctly remember the time where that idea was ripped out of my skull and taken away from me. And in all honesty, to have your entire personality, your entire person just attached to a thought or an idea is very, very surreal. And that is basically what everyone lives by when you live under divine intervention. Now, Stalvin Black isn't much better because, let's be real, he's a dictator. I just think that both ways are acceptable. And given the choice between, or the three choices that we have available to us, which is burn it all down, work with Stalvin Black, or work against him, I'm okay with the first option.
I haven't made up my mind completely yet, or else I would have tried to kill him already. He is in the same town we're in.
Anyway, I think we should inform the others about what you found.
Yeah.
Well, at least thank you for taking my mind off of all that business. I appreciate that.
Anytime. We've been friends for quite a while, if you remember. That I do.
No, that's the
remember.
thing. I don't. Everyone else seems to get these sparks of these epiphanies. I yet to have anything come to me. perhaps I'm living the best life I can right now. Maybe that's part of it. I don't know. I seem to be having a good time, except for this one thing. Great. You reminded me of it again. Thank you for that.
I did know. Let's just go find the others.
So here's what happens, Kelly. As Daka turns to rejoin the others, from behind him, Riverin steps around him and says, I can take your pain from you.
No, you don't understand. Pain is what makes the longing worthwhile, child. Because when we do have a moment together, it's all that much more special. Not every piece of pain needs to be removed. Pain is what makes people live.
She says, didn't you teach me that most emotions are negative? Wouldn't it be better to take from people their negative emotions?
Well, you can't have joy without sorrow, right?
I don't know. Would you like to try?
And I tell you what, I wouldn't want to give up love. That's for damn sure.
What is love?
Okay, we
I
knew how
held
to
back.
talk about
I held
the
back.
birds and the bees.
Too
I know.
easy.
I
Too
know.
easy.
We all thought about it. We all fucking thought about it.
So I'm going to explain to her the birds and the bees in the most motherly way possible, not in
Okay.
the normal.
She
Kelly
stops
blunt
you
way.
about 2 minutes into this and says, I understand what you're saying, but that does not encompass the word love.
Well, you need to understand that there's a physical action, and then the physical action.
We're speaking of the
breeds an
emotion of
emotional
love.
attachment. Yeah, and the physical stuff breeds the emotional stuff.
Does it? I have not done any of the things you described with my father, but I would say that I love him.
I haven't
the
tried
love
this
between-
yet.
The love oh, don't please. The
I'm
love
gonna-
between a man and a woman is different from that of a parent and a child.
If am
That will
I still
always be
within
the truth.
earshot of this?
Yes. I mean, she's standing like beside and behind you.
I'm gonna walk up to Kelly and be like, "Come on," and like pull you forward. But when I touch you, I'm going to cast Remove Curse and see what happens.
Thing.
Am I cursed?
Naka believes so by the incubus,
Mm-hmm.
or at least
Oh,
charmed.
wow.
Because if it's curse, it's not charmed. Like there's like words that matter, but like dispel something might actually do it. But curse is all I have right now.
No, nothing happens.
Damn it. Well, I'll just continue to pull at you to go find the others then.
So yeah, I mean, I mostly I try my best to explain the difference between adult love and parental love.
I want to be clear here. She is continuously taking your arguments apart by, separating the different kinds of love and how love is incredibly difficult to define.
Are you capable of imagination, child?
What is that?
Is when you throw away reasoning and morals and you just think about things. Have you ever had a conversation in your head with another person before you converse with them?
Yes, I have them all the time.
That is your imagination. Can
I
you
see.
imagine a scenario where, for whatever reason, you have an emotion that confuses you, dictate how you feel in a way that both is pleasing and is painful?
My father would like to let you know that he is not imaginary.
I would hope so.
She nods, starts walking away.
When she gets a little older and she finds herself a good boy, this conversation is going to be a lot easier.
The weirdest Fey wedding ever.
What's next?
We meet up with the lads, right?
Going,
Okay.
Yeah. How long have we been in this town? Or we're waiting for the cooking to be over, and we're waiting.
You
for
have 4 days remaining on your library card.
Okay, because that's what we're waiting for until we can leave to the north. to fence
Correct.
the
Well,
flood.
that's what you're waiting for. Yes.
So we'll find the rest of the guys. I was just wondering if we have stuff to do here that everyone wants to do, or we could montage to travel.
We could snap forward to your library if everyone's okay with just doing 4 days of simple village work.
Yeah, I think so.
Just drinking and being sad. That will be my answer.
You are not accepted by even the majority of people here as being friendly, but certainly the reception you met when you first arrived is gone now. People might still hate you with the loathing that they reserve only for the gods, but many among the populace now also believe that you have brought good works, good magic, good ideas. And they still hold out hope that one day you will save them from the power of the gods.
And a fuck ton of fruit, apparently. Fruit and vegetables.
You do awaken every morning. There's less food on other days, but there is always enough to eat for you every morning. At the end of your 7-day sojourn into the library, you learn the following facts. 1, there are 4 major societal factions in the Demon King's lands. The Black Paw Pack, the Red Paw Pack, the Stalvinists, and Unity Underground. The following foods make up the basis of the local diet. Venison, river fish, northern salt, apples, sorghum, soybean, beet sugar, pears. Vegetables are few and far between. And finally, in your deep research, you have learned that to enter the keep of the Demon Lord, an invitation is necessary.
We're vampires to him.
As part of your research, you might remember that I told you a complication arose as part of your role.
Yeah. Oh, can you put that on a card? Because the cards we can see and keep on the
Yes.
stiff.
Knowledge from lice.
Because then I'll have the Stelvin Black primer, just stuff I learned about him. Then the extra stuff can refer back to.
Okay. There you go.
Cool. Thank you.
A complication arose that when you were learning about the Demon Lord's castle invitation system, any one of his blood can extend an invitation to you, and you do find a letter dated from about 60 years ago. It is marked as having been taken from a intruder in these lands from the south, one of a sort of noble historian, scholar, writer, who was making travelogues, basically. He was killed for intruding on the lands, but he was keeping a diary, and in it he detailed the secret weakness of Stelvin Black, that Stelvin Black has hidden away a member of his blood in a village enshrouded by mist and guarded by the forces of death itself, to which he has bound his enemies. This writer attempted to travel there, but was turned away by the Guardians. He entered the mist and was not able to find his way, and then with the last of his food and water, he stumbled out of the mist and was captured by a local militia force, who then promptly executed him. Like his last entry was, "I have escaped the mist. This is a foolish task. I should never have set myself to it. I shall travel home." And like, this letter is enshrined in a larger book where it's been like plasticed over, and the next entry is like, "On this date, local militia encountered the bearer of this letter and executed him for crimes." His notes are enshrined here.
Well, death itself, and we need to meet up with death sometime anyway, so maybe another place to visit after the dwarven mountaintop where we fought all those years ago. Locations, places to go, which is great. Leads.
Your mini map is starting to fill in with fast travel points.
Yeah, man.
Shift
It's like
click, strike
goddamn
quest.
Ubisoft game up in this bitch.
Climb a radio tower.
I was about to say we gotta clear the towers in that area. That's what we gotta do.
Yeah.
See all the side quests that we can do there. Oh, there's a fishing one over there. Let's go do that.
Rip a tiger apart and re-sew them into a larger purse.
Kelly goes fishing, and
there's the
there's just
Far Cry player.
fucking crocodile comes out of the water like, son of a bitch! I just wanted the
talking
flower.
about the Far Cry game for a
It's
while
like the
now,
crack
Arthur.
thumb, the crack the thumb thing.
No, you get like 7 matches. You light them all up, and you just go.
It's pretty much
And
what
then you
Adrian
get
does.
like 3
Like
health bars back.
when he gets hit by a fireball, he just keeps running.
Yeah.
Just puts it out real quick.
Anyway,
Or you get the New Zealand guy to come help you out. He'll pick you up and take you out of the firefight, and then shoot through you for a bit. And then if he dies, you're out of a buddy. You got to go save your buddy, but you can't. Oh man, Far Cry 2, grenades rolling down a hill. Come on now, it's a good game.
It's been so long since I
have
played
never
Far Cry
played
2.
Far Cry 2.
It's been so long.
Far Cry 2 is like a tour de force of just like hodgepodge of ideas that kind of work, but are individually really awesome.
The first
It's
Far
like-
Cry game I played was 3. So
I've heard it compared. It's like Far Cry 2 is like a bag of Skittles if all the Skittles were like good and bad ideas.
Yeah, there's a couple of bad ones. Like for example, you could drive past like a checkpoint, murder everyone in there, drive away, turn around, come back, and the checkpoint is filled with people again. You're just like,
Yeah, it had a weird.
Anyway, we're getting off
Let me
target here.
Yeah.
What's the next step? What's the next plan?
I think we get the crew together, right, and we start heading north. That was the plan, right?
Yeah, we need to
What's your destination?
get the move
We
on.
wanted to go talk to those orc people, or that orc dude.
I think we were headed northeast. We were gonna go to the Clans of the Flow. Is that what our plan?
Okay.
Or were we just headed straight north?
That's going to be several days of overland journey.
So what I will do, Arthur, actually, while I'm here, is I will detail as much of the goings on in this village as much as I can, put it in an envelope, and I will send it, mail it to
oh yeah, other dude.
Rice Rice
Okay.
Reclander.
Rice Rickalander.
Okay. Rice
My question
Rickalander.
is,
Sorry.
who is sending this letter? Who's going to carry it?
Is there no one that can carry it here? Is there no mail going down
For
that way?
them to appear in front of the battle line coming south would be death.
Can I send Gygax?
I believe so. Let me double check that, but Gygax might actually. I don't think Find Steed has a distance thing.
Yeah, because I remember we sent Gygax with what's her name on his back for a while as well. So
Okay, so once you're 1 mile away from it, you can no longer communicate telepathically, but there's nothing preventing you from giving it its intelligence, so you can give Gygax instructions and he will carry it and then attempt to find you again.
yeah, and maybe I'll put in the note. Tell Gygax. So basically, I'll tell Gygax to deliver the note, and then in the note, I'll say also speak to the ant in common, tell the ant your reply, and then I'll tell Gygax after you've heard your reply, send yourself back to the Fey realm, and then I'll summon him back to where I am. I'll be able to tell, right, when he's returned.
Probably
Probably just give it a certain amount of time. I mean,
you cannot tell when he's been You can't tell him to unsummon himself. You have to do it. It takes an action.
Okay, so maybe I'll give
You
him,
do know
like,
it would
how
only
long did
take him like a day to get back.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe he can just try and catch up to us or something like that.
I mean, the
But
way
even
to
though
do
after
it
a
would
day and a
be
half-
let him deliver the message, and then tomorrow morning unsummon and resummon him.
yeah, just give him a certain amount of time. You
Yeah.
would be able to estimate the
That
time.
would work. Gygax is intelligent enough to suggest this plan to you. He
Okay,
mentions this
that
is how
works.
you've done it in the past.
Uh-huh. Okay. Great.
Funny how that works.
Can he evolve into a flying ant?
No.
I mean, I could send the flaming horse, but
That would be a little.
there might be
less-
complications.
That would be considered an attack by the people who kill flaming horses for a
Well,
living.
plus the horse wants to eat the flesh of the innocent, so
That
you know,
is
he
true.
might stop. He might stop for a
would
snack.
I would put like a little scarf on
He's
Gygax
hungry.
and maybe a little hat as well, so people don't see him as like an attacking
A
animal.
little hat with like tickets sticking out of
It's
the
like
side.
if you've ever
Yeah.
taken an animal to like a groomer, like they put a scarf or something on the dog, like
Yeah, like make him less
a bandana.
dangerous looking.
Service giant ant.
Yeah, he's just like
I am a
mail ant.
service ant. Please do not pet me.
He's got like a bunch of mail bags on him and stuff.
Yeah.
And
As you're leaving Finley, there are, how do I say this? You have over your time collected a following of beetles, rats, bunnies, butterflies, even a horse that come to see you every day. Make sure that they're all
what
fed.
up, Spooty? It's me, the horse. Nay.
I mean, he can't speak with the animal unless he can speak with animals. But
Mr.
yeah,
Ed over here.
I've got peanut butter in my mouth. Nay.
okay.
That's how they used to make Mr. Ed talk, in case you're wondering, because the horse would be like,
Yeah.
so you didn't know that?
No, I
I knew
didn't.
that.
I knew they did it with dogs. I didn't know they did it with horses.
Yeah, the old TV show where they had the talking horse.
Okay.
Mr. Ed.
Yeah, Mr. Ed.
Yeah,
exactly.
your collection gathers at the northern end of the village to see you off.
People with the funny walks.
No, your animal collection.
Well, okay. Can I?
Make sure they're
or,
still walking funny when I get back.
Yeah, I was saying, can I sort of like release them to keep watch over the town?
Do you have speak with animals? You could ask them in such a way, or there's several
I
other
don't
spells.
have it prepared.
You could prepare it for that morning, right?
Well,
I mean,
then I will do that, knowing what I know now.
sure. Yeah. Let me see. Let me make sure that that's a spell that you can cast. Speak with animals.
It's like a level 1 spell.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
It's like level 1 or level 2. I'm just making sure. It's level 1. Yeah.
Hell,
Yeah.
I have speak with animals.
You cast speak with animals, and the animals are just like, no, don't go, don't go. Like one of the bunny rabbits is like,
little chipmunk
who's gonna
crying
feed me?
sounds.
Look at these. The dogs are gonna eat me.
Find those with funny walks. They will feed you, my children.
Okay, make a persuasion check. No, make a handle animal check.
Oh, dude, you should make like little flower hats for each of them, and they have to wear it so that people know that these are the good animals to feed.
Their intelligence score is not high enough to
Is it
sustain wearing
nature?
a
I
flower.
don't have. Oh, animal handling. There we go.
Animal handling.
Uh,
You give them
Nice.
instructions, and their intelligence scores are
like,
very
"Fuck you,
low.
Dad. I don't want your life. And they like
It's
run
not,
off.
it's not exactly how it goes, but like they wander off, and it's
so
clear
we have
that
to like mate inside of their garbage cans. I understand now.
they're gonna forget these instructions in like a day or two.
Sure.
Long-term memory is not a stalwart
No.
friend of the
Do
animals.
you remember when that elf person talked to us? No. Well, yeah, no, that never happened.
What the fuck's an elf?
who? Star-Lord, man, legendary outlaw.
Come on, man. You might know me by my other name.
Uh,
Oh Lord. Chris
Yeah.
Pratt is a
Okay.
treasure.
So, you guys have enough food to make it to the southern Clans of the Flow establishment, but that's about it. From then on, you'll be on rations. Who is leading this endeavor?
Believe it's
Horse
me,
boy.
as per usual.
Whoever's
Okay.
got the highest survival.
Make a survival check.
Should be me. Let's see if I fuck it up this time because I did last time.
Don't worry, everyone's rolling low.
12. Great.
Okay. I have another question for you, Akram. While
Yeah.
you're making this journey, do you ever use your power to test it out, or are you holding that for a dramatic moment?
I don't think that he realizes he has it yet. So I think it'll happen when it happens.
Okay.
That's kind of how I want to roll with that. Like kind of like a in a moment of need kind of thing.
I don't even remember what your power is, to be completely
It's summon spiritual ancestors to either talk to or to fight with
Oh,
me
the
first.
bar bros. Right, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I get it.
So
dudes.
I think
God,
it'll
drinking
just
tonight,
it'll just happen, you know.
Okay.
It's one of those things. So I haven't used
Your
it yet.
journey does not go as quick as some of your normal ones. There are no roads here. Off-roading in the wagon is not the best thing in the world. The land here is wild and untamed.
Good thing where we're going, we don't need roads, huh?
Got him.
Let's just avoid any rivers because we'll lose at least one party member. That's how that works.
Dysentery is a serious problem. A 4-day journey takes you 5.
Yeah.
At one point, you pass into a forest, which makes navigation more difficult. And the forest lasts for 2 whole days. In the forest, you pass 2 different villages, which are sustained by the forest around it. At the end of this journey, you find yourselves at the southern end of the Clans of the Flow, having arrived pretty close to its southernmost village, which I will outline on the map here. That is probably the wrong layer. That's the GM layer.
Mm-hmm.
The shore here is cold and rocky. It looks like some Skellige shit straight out of Witcher 3.
So like
Okay.
not tundra, what's it called? Taiga?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vegetation is few and far between. The town hugs the sea rather than extending deep out into the surrounding rocky hills. There are a few large farming communities who have attempted to tame it, and you could see even now people are out there stumping trees out, using plows to break up the land over and over, spreading night soil, trying to reclaim more of the land for usable, arable farmland. But most of the town is several miles long of fishing huts, small collections of homes, family homes. Some are kind of the long hauls you would expect of a Viking, mythological Viking tribes.
Very Norse themed.
What
kind of.
does seem to strike you most is that there are fishing boats and rafts everywhere. There are so many shallow draft boats, more than you've ever seen in your life. Hundreds of them that go out into the water, either to head north, perhaps to trade with other villages or find other cities, or simply to pull out the bounty of the sea. You can also see that a lot of bowls of seawater have been set out on rocks next to the ocean.
Salting.
Some of them are salting bowls, yes. They're in the process of turning seawater into sea salt.
Racks of drying fish or whatever.
As you approach this village, you are not stopped. There doesn't appear to be any town guard. However, almost everyone is armed, even the children.
What are the children running around with, like ducks and stuff?
They are running around with clubs hanging from their belts, and everyone has heavy furs, both as armor and against the unusual weather. For
Is
as
there a
you
lot of-
step just a few feet out of the land of the Demon Lord, the temperature drops almost 20 degrees.
Even probably feels at home.
Well, luckily, I remember we packed a lot of winter shit.
Yeah,
That
we
is
did.
correct.
Expecting this place to be
Hostile
cold.
environment, rocks everywhere, hard to grow shit.
Yep.
Is there like a
Like
lot of
home.
metal in this area, or is it mostly like blunt wood weapons?
There's
Just your-
very little metal here.
It's gonna
Metal
make it-
is reserved. Swords are few and far between. Metal is reserved almost entirely for spearheads, arrowheads, and even then, most of the arrowheads are not
Hooks.
metal, but instead sharp rock.
Like
But
obsidian.
most commonly, you're looking at axes, especially shield breaker axes.
Right. Okay. So we're supposed to be looking for an orc. I forget his name though, because it's been so long since we played.
There are many orcs here. The local population appears to be made entirely of humans, half-orcs, and orcs. You immediately recognize statuary of Guzenguz all over the place in her half-orcish form. Every house basically has a little shrine of her outside. Some of the larger houses have stone statues of her instead of just wood carvings.
So I'm gonna go find someone who looks like they know a thing or two about this place.
Why don't you make a streetwise check? That's not a thing in this game. Make an insight check. That would be reasonable.
Yeah, all right. It's a wisdom-based skill. That makes sense. How's a 9 do you? Ha!
You waste most of the day trying to track down someone to talk to and are continuously told, like, I don't know you. I don't know that I can trust anything you have to say. Like, you were turned away for hours by everyone.
Even if I name drop the shit out of this dude,
What's his name?
we have it in a group doc somewhere. It's been so long.
No, it's
since
not in the
we played.
notes. I just checked. I control F to try and find it, and it's not in the notes.
There's also those orcs we met a while back in that dungeon.
Yeah.
I don't think we ever got their name though.
No, we did. We totally did.
I don't know if we got their name. We got the one guy's name for sure. I would, as I'm walking about, make sure that my axe is displayed prominently. Just because, you know, they have axes, I have an axe. It's an axe thing.
Are you peacocking?
Not in, like, I'm not, like, wielding it, but it's definitely, like,
I mean, are you like...
kind of, like, over
Are
the
you wearing
shoulder
your
kinda
axe from
hanging
your
out.
belt and you're drumming your fingers along the axe
No,
to
no, no.
attract
I mean,
people?
it's a great axe, so it'd definitely
Okay.
be, like, across my shoulders or something as I'm walking about. You know, just, like, not in a threatening manner, just so it's definitely visible.
Okay.
Because, you know, they have axes and I have a bigger axe. So, you know, I don't know.
There are some who have large axes like yours, but they seem reserved entirely for warriors.
As I walk past them, you know, you do the, just give them the up nod.
I mean, they'll give you an up nod back for that.
I would like to try and secure some lodging for us while Kelly's out trying to find this guy.
Okay.
Um,
There are several such lodges available. It seems like this doesn't seem like the kind of village that would have such lodgings, right? It seems very poor, but it looks like, on closer observation, there are a lot of people who aren't from this particular village that like spend the day here, sleep here, and then wake up in the morning and
It's
go
like
home.
Like a rest stop kind of.
Yeah,
like in
there's a
between.
lot of mobility in the people that live here, and
We
as a
have
result,
found the truck stop, boys.
it's not a truck stop.
I'm just
but-
saying, you know, it's kind of, you know,
you know, they do at truck stops.
I mean, you stop, you know, you get a bite to eat, shower, whatever, and you get up in the morning and you piss off. Take a truck stop.
You find a drinking hall that has a attached it would be generous to call it a barn. Like a large open common room with a central fire on it.
I'm very much thinking like a
Longhouse
Skyrim
something?
in.
Well,
very much.
Longhouse is where everybody's drinking and eating.
Yeah.
But then, if you want to stay, they send you into a place where straw has been laid down, and there's like a recessed area with a fire, and you lay down any bedding and you sleep there.
Yeah,
Essentially, like 90% outdoors. You have,
But
you
it
have
just-
walls
it's
and
just-
a roof,
It just keeps you from being rained or snowed on, pretty much.
or
But-
murdered in your sleep. But yeah,
That too. mean,
it is
that's-
called the Weary Lich.
Okay. Yeah, no, I'll walk in and I will have sheathed my weapon at this point because I'm not a complete barbarian.
Wow. When you come in, you hear someone say, "Shut the door, you're taking the cold in."
All right, I will. I'll shut the door.
But I'm not heating up the whole outside.
You see a number of men and women in here, probably around 6, eating and drinking. Your immediate instinct is that these people are criminals. Tattoos on their hands, fingerless gloves in some cases, lots of daggers, thieves' tools, and keys are on their belts. Where most
By the
people.
way, how pristine is everyone's clothing? I just want to get an idea here because as a paladin, Kelly keeps her shit like pretty shiny.
Do you mean the
I
rest
just
of your
wanna-
party members or the rest of?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just the rest of the party members, because if I'm trying to work out if we stand out outside of the races that
Yes,
we are.
you
so-
absolutely stand out.
Okay.
I've got none of my stuff is it's not shiny, but it's not like caked in dirt. It's very much. I don't know if you've ever actually if you take steel chainmail, it like kind of gets kind of a patina over time, unless you just sit there and polish it, which is a pain in the ass. We kind of got that. So it's not, I mean, it's still metal, but it's not bright and shiny and like the sun wouldn't glint off it kind of thing.
You caring for your appearance isn't your first thought, right?
I'm more of a function over form kind of guy. So
Right,
does it still protect me? It's fine. Now, if anything would start to rust or whatever, I'd fix it because he is trained in smithing. But as long as it's functional and it works, that's his primary concern.
What about Ducker? You're like robes and shit now, right?
Yeah, they're clean. Like I prestidigitate them on the regular.
And Spooty, you're like a druid, so is your wooden stuff good looking?
I mean, I wouldn't say it's like pristine. It's definitely a little roughed up, you know.
Okay.
So
Right.
as I walk,
Marks on the
a
rats and
beacon
stuff.
of because I got Alcar who's like fucking
yeah,
Joe Sword and yeah. Okay. All right.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
I
just
mean,
trying to work out.
my hammer is like very much like got scratches and stuff. It's not like a chunk missing, but it definitely looks like it's seen a lot of combat. Like I don't sit there and polish
Okay.
it or whatever else.
Yeah. Sorry
Is there
to
anybody
interrupt.
else? No, is there anybody else that came with me, or did everybody go with Kelly to look for this? Or
I'm thinking I would have stuck with Kelly.
okay. If I see that these are a bunch of rough types, can I, Arthur, make a kind of an intimidation with strength as I'm walking in here, swole AF and
You want
covered
to
in
have that
tattoos?
big dick energy.
Well,
That's what you wanna have.
he's also covered in tattoos. Like he's covered in tattoos. He's fucking sleeveless. You know, he's not
Hey, fellow men.
pretty much like,
How's
you
it
know,
going?
he's not necessarily like unzipping, you know, biggest dick in the room, but they look like rough characters. He's also kind of, I don't say necessarily rough character, but I imagine him as somebody that most people would just be like, it's not worth the effort to fuck with him.
Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your.
I need your clothes, your
motorcycle.
boots, and your motorcycle.
Is the hammer visible?
The hammer is on a hook at my waist. You know,
So it is visible to those
Yeah.
who would look at you.
as is the fuck off great axe on his back.
So the great axe is a great axe, and that sounds good. The hammer is
Mhm.
obviously magical.
Uh-huh.
So I will not let you make this with strength, but I will let you make it at advantage because someone
Okay.
who wields a magical weapon is clearly a different tier of warrior.
All right, I can do that. So 17. That's a
Wow,
girl out
bad.
advantage.
Let me tell you
that's a
something.
good thing.
Yeah.
Man, we've been rolling some garbage tonight. Boy.
It's been all of my D&D games, like even Pondo's game. We were getting crits or crit fails. It was one of the two all night long. There was no middle ground. It was crazy.
You
It's just-
get the idea that you just went from a potential robbery target to not to be fucked with list pretty quickly.
Yeah.
People who were in the process of getting ready to haze you shut their mouths and turn back to their drinks and cheese.
And anybody that gives him a look, I'll just give him like a, I'll give him so like I'm not
Are
gonna
you
just, like,
are you the type of fighter like the boxer that, like, when you're doing the stare down, you blow him a kiss, or are you the type that'll stare him back?
probably
Are you
stare
the
him
mad doggy, or are you the
probably
are you
stare him
the,
back. Like he's kind of the type of, like if you go somewhere you're not supposed to be or not welcome at, if you act like you're moving there with purpose, if you go in there like either timid or like unsure, people can pick up on that. Versus if you move through there with purpose, people are less likely to engage you, kind of thing, because they're like, oh, you act like you belong there, more or less.
Also,
It's
people
his kind
like
of thing.
that dude. I don't even think he has eyelids. You're just like, ugh.
He does also have yellow eyes and fucking bear canines.
So
I mean, not that they can see his teeth, but
as
so you
you're
have gangrene.
as you're walking
Yes.
through this place, at the end of the Weary Lich, you can see that there is a stout halfling who is bringing out a large. It's like a charcuterie board to one of the
Nice.
members. He stops in front of you and wipes off his hands and his forehead, and says, "The name is Marand, son of no one in particular." He's speaking to you in Dwarvish, and he says, "I only speak Dwarvish, but I suspect with you that won't be a problem."
I'll definitely speak back in Dwarvish. Yeah, it's my preferred language too. Look, I see you're busy. I need a room for 4 and some drinking food if you got it.
What kind of drink are you looking for?
I'll just give him a look like Dwarven kind.
We got beer, ale, cider, and perry.
It'll do fine, I'm sure.
What the fuck is Perry?
You want the dwarven kind?
Oh yeah, if you got it. What'll it run me?
Tankards or barrel?
Just go ahead and get a barrel. We got some drinky boys.
You cause trouble? The flesh golems rip you apart. Good with that?
If they cause trouble, I'll kick her ass myself. But yeah, I'm good with that.
Okay. You come back with your friends, I take a look at them, I give you the price.
Gotcha. And I'll be back here in a bit. I gotta go find them. They're wandered off like a bunch of jackasses, I'm sure.
He just shrugs and says, "Adventurers."
Yeah, you know how it goes. But
That's
they're pretty
actually
good.
more
They're
than
pretty good.
4. It's
They're
like-
pretty good in a scrap. So
I'm pretty sure it's like 6 people that we have. in
Yes,
our
that's
party.
correct.
Oh, that's okay. True. Well, I forgot that Riverin was with us.
Riverin
And the other guy.
a hag.
Yeah. Well, it's fine. Look, we can double up. I'm sure. Oh, it's pretty much just a room where you can throw down some sleeping bags. But I mean, it's not outside, so and there's a fire, so deal with it. This is look. The dwarf went to go do it. Everybody else fucked off. So, but it's fine.
Dwarf can't count, as it turns out.
Dwarf can count. He just
As soon as you get past 5, it's tough.
look, man. The dwarven way
I can
of
only
counting-
count on my fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Where's the other 2 fingers?
Look,
What?
dwarves can only count to 23. All right.
Okay.
All right. I'll
So
leave and go and try.
my investigation was unlucky, I guess. I don't know. Like, we can't remember this dude's name. I'm
the
sure
thing
read
is,
it
is
down.
I will let
we-
you make a intelligence check if you want to try to recall his name.
I think we
Dude.
actually recalled it last week too. I'm
Wait,
pretty sure.
fucking. Where is it? Boom! Tell us his name, Arthur.
Attempting to learn or recall a piece of lore. If you don't know that information, you have to know where, from whom. Okay, I don't have to tell you the name, but I can tell you from whom you can acquire that information from. You think for a moment. Ooh,
You can.
shit, I just showed my notes on stream. Fuck.
It's fine. I didn't see it anyway.
Ah, good.
We weren't paying attention.
You know that, hey, well, the audience is going to pause that on YouTube and just start taking notes.
That's fine. We stopped taking notes.
You know that Haig was negotiating with this person and so undoubtedly knows their name.
Oh yeah.
That's your goblin general.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. He was like rivals with him or whatever at some point. Yeah, no, you're not wrong. All right, so I asked
Eggs with us, I guess.
Hig and
He is.
Riverin are with the wagon.
Okay.
Mhm.
So you can return back to Hig. And what do you say?
The orc from here. What was his name?
The orc from
He
the
was
Clans of
in-
the Flow. Yes.
Yeah.
Prince Crix the Strong.
That's it.
Great. Thank you.
He is a war priest of Guz and Guz.
Maybe we should check a chapel then.
I mean,
is it-
you
what's
don't
the-
need a chapel for Goose and Gus. Let me
Or
just
like
say that.
look for the closest Goose and Guz holy sign.
There are Guz and Guz
There's one.
statuary at every
There's
house.
one. There's one.
And go to the first house.
Okay.
Probably best off going to the. Is there a temple of some sort?
Make a religion check to see if you can identify a temple, because the buildings here are very nondescript.
Can I get advantage of this since I was a cleric of Goose?
I'm not even with them.
Absolutely,
technically,
yes.
So, I'm gonna keep,
So
actually.
let's have the two of you make two different checks. Agram makes it on their own. Well, Agram doesn't even know the situation, so I don't know
Yeah,
why
I'm
he'd
not.
be
I
making...
haven't regrouped with them.
Yeah,
That was
Kelly,
me
you
as a
can make it
player.
at advantage. Yes.
Heck yeah.
Do it.
17 across the board.
Okay.
Yeah, you can identify temples to Guz and Guz here. The difference between the Guz and Guzian temples and anybody else's house are that the temples have a very prescribed size. All the temples are built exactly the same way, in the way that one would make a gladiator's ludus. Right, so there's, all of them are perfectly square. They have, they look like any other building on the outside, but they also have same height roofs, the same height walls. They're all perfectly mathematically similar in a way that the other buildings here are not.
This
As
is a
each
skilled
house,
I would also
architect.
say maybe a little more Spartan than the other houses too.
everything here is Spartan. Exterior decoration is few
This is
and far
very-
between beyond
Very
like
much a
strings
town
of
of
bones.
survival.
Yeah.
Everyone's got
rather
a boot mark in their chest. So Spartan around here.
Damn.
They always keep looking up and go, "Where's the sun? Are we in the rain?"
Yeah.
Look, my Friday night game is a Curse of Strahd campaign, and somebody goes, "Where's the sun in this guy?" He's like, "You can't fucking tell because there's clouds everywhere." I'm like, shit.
Cloud of arrows.
So I guess we go over there then.
Okay. You head to one of the temples here. Someone checks you at the door, like a bouncer, after you open the door, and they say, "What's your business here?" It's a very large orc, goatee, shaved head.
Taller than 7 foot?
Yeah, definitely.
Okay.
More like 8.5. While everyone else around here is wearing furs, he's just wearing no-sleeved tunic and
man.
shorts. Yeah.
That's like, so basically I
He's
say
a
to him,
he's a
This
college
Sparta.
student in West Virginia during the winter.
Damn.
yeah, I basically say to him straight away, it's like, well, I see you're not too worried about the cold then.
The cold never bothers me.
Fucking
Oh.
AP, I feel called out, man. I went to Canada. It was like 6 feet of snow, and I'm sitting there wearing shorts and a t-shirt outside. This is fucking great.
Yeah.
Fucking
All right.
Alabama summer, man. I'm good.
Fucking 8'6" orc quoting Frozen in the middle.
Guz and Guz bestows her blessings upon those who are her chosen warriors.
We're
Tell me,
here on,
we're seeking an orc.
He gestures to himself. You have
Word.
found one.
on the word.
I mean, maybe later.
on the word of Crix the Strong.
So he folds his arms and says, "You know of Crix the Strong. There are
Yes.
few outside these lands who would know that name."
We met him. He told us to come here. We have
He
information
had
about the
much to show
crystal.
us.
You are
Yes.
the Holy Travelers.
Word. Red's like a bad disease around here.
Mm-hmm. Yes,
How long does it take me to find them?
Not that long because they're
So they
standing
probably
outside
stick
of a temple and they do
probably
not.
stick out.
I mean, there's a color difference, right?
Yeah, right.
Kelly is
I also
literally
like the idea that you're
radiating the
just
light.
like-
Everybody
You
else
just
is
look around and
in
he's just like, oh, what's
black,
that
white,
shimmer
and
from that
grays, and
shiny
Kelly is
metal?
like,
Yeah, like it's just like it's all grayscale, and then just hot pink.
We stick
like,
it like
oh,
anime protagonists in a classroom, all right?
oh yeah. You guys are definitely the back left-hand seat by the window.
Nice.
Everything is black and white, and they're the only ones that are shaded. I get it. Okay.
Yeah. So
Well, no, Kelly is very floral. It's hard to miss, really. 7'2", blue dragon wearing floral, shiny plate mail in a town with no metal. Yes, very, very.
All you have to do to find Kelly is shine a flashlight and wait for the glint.
Also, we have a purple boy next to us as well.
Which one of you is purple? I thought he was like Doc was like gray.
Doctor's
Oh,
purple.
you're gray now.
I'm gray, but like my gem things like
Okay.
protrude.
No, I got you. I know it used to be proper like blue or purple or whatever.
Yeah.
All right, cool. Yeah, no, I'll check you guys down.
But like, I'll just tell them like we're here. They told us you guys have information about the crystal. We have different information about the crystal. We're going to compare notes.
Let's see, how long ago did we meet that guy? I'm trying to think.
Ages ago, maybe.
Oh,
I was
Yeah.
in the
It was
dwarven
over
thing.
20 days ago, I think. But yeah.
Okay,
So he
Granite
says.
hold in the human tongue or whatever.
gotcha.
Bart Uthan Umthal.
Yeah.
He says, arrive here tomorrow morning at the rising of the sun. I will arrange transport to the temple. You seem unprepared for the north. You would be wise not to wear that armor on a ferry.
Why is that?
You were to go overboard, it would sink.
I'll make arrangements. Don't worry about that. But you said tomorrow morning, yes?
Yes.
Are you busy now?
Bound check going.
In the next few
No
minutes, I must speak with the head of my order here. Make arrangements. After that, I am available if you require combat practice or consultation.
Yeah, I wanted to, throw down with another clergyman of the Guzengars, I think there's much I can learn from someone like you. It's not very often that I get to do combat with someone larger than myself, so.
I mean, he looks over your plate mail and your obviously magical sword, and he says, I do not believe I can be a match for a warrior like you, but if you wish to
No, we
practice the
will-
northern forms, I can teach you our ways.
I was mostly thinking about weaponless combat. But yes, that would be good.
If you wish to fight with the bare fist, I can show you.
Let's arrange that then.
He says bare fist. Igrim looks at his hands. It's like,
Wait here. I will be back in a few minutes. If you
I'll
need to...
I start taking off my armor. It's like, you guys can go.
Yeah, so he gestures to a bowl of chalk dust nearby, and he says, if you need to prepare, there are wrappings underneath the bowl.
So I'll take off my armor. The only thing I'll have on is like the braces and like basically just like a tight necklace, I
Okay.
guess.
A gorget?
Yeah, sort of thing. Because that's the two magical items that I have that increase my stats. So
Yeah, no reason to take them off.
yeah. But the other stuff I'll remove to make it even, so that we're not versing each other with me at 20 AC for whatever reason.
Okay.
But like I said, that basically means that Kelly is like basically stark naked at that point. She's wearing like undergarments, but like there's nothing else there, so it's fine. And then I guess, chalk up their fists. I don't know. Is that what they do?
Yeah,
think that's
I
what
mean,
they
you
do.
can. Other people enter while you are waiting here, and they place their hands in the bowl like this, so that they slam it so that a wave of chalk comes up and settles on their hands, and they put it together and then start wrapping their hands with the bandages underneath the bowl.
So I just copy that, I guess.
So I checked Dave just to see if I take my armor off, I still have 19 AC. God.
My AC without armor, I think, is 17. Hang on, let me check. I have a pretty high dex now. Hang
I
on.
just need one more ASI and I can stop wearing armor completely.
So if I'm not wearing, okay, it's 14 AC. If I'm not using a shield, it's 14. So
Okay. Finley, where are you when all this is happening?
Staring in awe at Kelly, I would think.
Okay.
what about it is awing?
Well, I don't know that this form of Agram has seen this form of Kelly in this situation.
Kelly doesn't sleep with armor on, so you probably have.
Yeah, well, I mean, no, we've seen it before. I've shared a room with Kelly before. I'm not really shocked by Kelly's shenanigans at this point because I've been there.
Sure.
And besides, we went to a brothel together. Like, this is and
Kelly is definitely not shy about nudity. That's not a
yeah.
problem.
It's just,
Well, I mean, neither really is Finley at this point. I mean, so okay,
Basically, we're all naked people.
that's right.
That's the
Finley?
only thing that matters. Then.
You notice that there is a bunny rabbit eating the bottom of your pants. It's like tearing at the hemming.
he's like, got us some dinner.
It is a snow hare, pure white.
I reach down, kind of snatch it on the back of his neck, and hold up and look at it.
Okay. I would like you to make an athletics check to see if you can grab it before it runs.
At some point while this is happening, I want to drag Doc over to the side. I gotta ask him. I want to ask him something.
17.
Oh yeah, you grab this thing by the ears, and it's flailing as you pick it up. But then when you get it to eye level, it stops and pretends to be dead. Its tongue lolls out of its mouth. Its head rolls back.
And I will attempt to talk to it.
You're casting Speak with Animals?
Yeah. I
do
have
you
it
say?
prepared.
Yeah.
Are you trying to get my attention, little one?
My master wishes to speak with you.
And who might your master be?
It is like you, but different.
So same but different. That tells me nothing. Where is your master?
So your passive perception is high enough that you notice that a elven woman who sticks out in this crowd. She's wearing almost all white with some light browns, and everything seems to be sewn together with rabbit hair fur. And she's got a spear.
Who did this art? That's nice.
This
That's
is
a
cottontail.
cotton-tailed. That's
Yeah,
cotton-tailed.
That's the cottontail
Okay.
style. That's the premium cottontail art right there. She marches forward through the craggy ground and looks towards you, blinks her injured eye with the scar on it, and gestures towards you to put the rabbit down.
Okay. I'll go.
She's standing like 20 feet away from you and like beckoning you to come out of the temple so that she might speak with
Hang
you.
on one second.
Yep.
While this is happening, I want to drag Doc over to the side while they're, Kelly's doing her thing, and then there's I got us a place to stay. It's kind of a rough place, but we should be okay. But I had something else I wanted to talk to you about because Doc and him back in I don't know, it was one of the first one of the early sessions. We essentially kind of became blood brothers, so we kind of, probably closer than the other ones. Ever since the other night, a couple of days ago, whatever. Whenever I dream, I've been having a dream of it's like blood dripping into a puddle of blood, and then every time I see people, I just hear the drip, drip, drip in the back of my head, and I don't know what the fuck that's about. I don't know if maybe you had any insight, being all magical and such.
Have you been bitten lately by a vampire?
No, I have not been bitten by a vamp. What the fuck is a vampire? No, I don't think so. I've been bitten by a couple bugs, but no.
Can I make a check, Arthur? See if I know what this sounds like.
This would be a religion check.
Okay.
Yoki.
I just feel the urge to kill and maim, and I don't know, like more than normal. You know, I've always been kind of a fighty boy, but this is something else.
Just for the folks at home, that's an 8 on your roll. You believe that Daka, you believe he might be disturbed in some way?
Although, if you have
More than
8,
usual.
if you have an 8 and you flip it to its side, it's the eternity sign.
Yeah.
Doom eternal.
Or it's like the Ouroboros for the campaign. My God.
That's true.
Doom Eternal came out on 3/23, so it's like I rolled a 23.
Ah! Yeah. But I'm just like,
Lawless.
we have not killed anything in quite a while. Not since we blew up that whole place, which is kind of sweet. But
I mean, I've been great at fighting stuff. This is like I don't know. I look at people and the first thing I think about is like more than just like, you know, it's just like, what would they look like with my hammer in their face? It's hard to.
Didn't you at one point have a cursed weapon that was like that?
Yeah, but I only had that for like literally less than a day. But I don't have any cursed objects now.
That you know of.
That I know of. But yeah, I would definitely confront. Like every time he's fallen asleep, that's like the only thing he dreams of now is just like blood and slaughter, and you know, just that's it. That's the only thing, and it's kind of fucking with him in a way. So, but yeah,
Well,
if it changes, I'll definitely let you know. But it's I
since
figured you can keep it secret.
Kelly and Finley are already like, they're off doing their own thing. I'll just like bring Agram back to River and be like, have some emotions you need to deal with, Riverin.
Well, there was an instance before where I remember what you did, but I was having a dream where I was essentially, I don't know if I was on like, if you ever seen like Alien versus Predator when they had a flashback to the Predator on top of like the mountain of all the aliens just sitting there just slaying. It was kind of like that, but with, I don't remember what it was, it was Drow or something, but he was just slaying, you know, very just killing. And she showed up in that dream and made eye contact. She said something or whatever and then disappeared. But that was like so long ago. I don't remember what she did. I don't remember if she took anything or not.
But like Daka knows the Riverin can channel and steal specific emotions.
Yeah.
So he's just like, if you're having trouble sleeping and you need a night of peace, I believe Riverin could make sure you get at least.
It doesn't disturb the dreams. Like it doesn't disturb my sleep or prevent me. It's just, that's kind of the only thing that I dream about, you know, like at all. So, you know, I know you, and I guess by extension, Riverin can keep it a secret. I just wanted to let you know. I felt that I should tell somebody.
That's good. Unless it becomes a problem, I won't tell anyone. If it does become a problem and you don't want to tell anyone else, I'll like look down to River and be like, I'm assuming she would help.
She's not here. She and Hake are back at the wagon.
Yeah, I would take him back to the wagon.
Yeah.
We're doing this while they're doing their other stuff.
Riverin says, I can walk his dreams at night and see what lay there.
Would you be able to see the cause?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think what she did the last time she walked. She walked through a dream of mine or something. I can't remember what it was.
That was a long time ago.
I know,
that
like
was 20 episodes ago.
Yeah, it was
like 6 months ago.
It was, yeah, I know. It was a long time ago, and because she walked through everybody's dreams, if I recall correctly. But yes. I don't remember. She took something from some people, and then other people she didn't. I don't think she took anything from mine because I looked content just slaying endlessly. I guess I don't remember exactly. Yeah, it was a while ago.
I want to throw to you guys that this is right around where we should be doing introductions. Mm-hmm. I've written down some things for when we come back next week. If we're back next week, we've got Kelly getting in a fist fight with a war priest. We've got a inn stay on hold, and we have a druid conference. You know, a professional meeting in the middle of the street of the squalid splendor of a small village.
Mhm.
They both have fights over like who has the coolest background in Zoom.
That's right.
No, what they do is they show each other's familiar pets to each other. Like, no, my snow hare is much better than your beetle.
Are you going to challenge him to a fight?
It's like Pokemon. All
Another
right.
druid shows up and be like, "How's this work? We can't hear you.
We're
We
just
can't-
combining
we can't
all
see
the
you."
games. Really, we got the turnips, we got the Pokemon going fighting on, we got the Doomslayer going.
All
Like we're
right,
just
Dave.
a combination.
Wow, look, he's moving so fast. He's leaving behind after images.
My
Man.
God.
I'm a druid.
Well, apparently you're an ant, so I think you and Gygax have too much in common now. Introductions. Let's start with you, the drummer boy.
Hey, Drumurboy, make music on the internet. Although, if you've been watching the show for a while, you probably already know that.
All Far Verona got canceled, man.
It did. Inter-party conflict, you know.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yep, it's a killer. That between that and schedules, those are the two things that really kill D&D.
Don't need to tell me.
I know, man. But yeah,
In
the
there.
final, I guess the final Far Verona track will be going up on Bandcamp and Spotify as soon as the art's done.
That's good to hear.
I'm going to be continuing the Court of Swords track, and I've got some other work happening for Nerd or Die that will hopefully be done middle of next week.
I was gonna, because I knew you were gonna mention it. I believe Nerd or Die is having a spring sale right now, where a bunch of stuff is like half off.
Yeah, a bunch of
So-
stuff is half off, and some of it is like some stuff is more on sale than other stuff because products, you know, that's how that works.
Mhm.
So if you're looking for a cheaper way to get into streaming, or if you've already been streaming for a while and you need to be streaming more or want to be streaming more due to circumstances that may or may not be happening right now, you can upgrade your stream, at least visually, for all that for cheaper.
Let me throw this at you. You can pitch this to JP for me. You ready?
What's that?
Relaunch the show with a new cast. Call it Farther Verona.
No, I think they're
furthest Verona.
they're
No,
gonna
you
try
do
to-
Farther Verona so that they can re-release it.
Yeah, I think they're like when they did the Q&A, it's like they're gonna revisit it, but not
For a while.
anytime
Yeah.
soon. Yeah.
I just really
whole-
wanted to make that joke for days. Just today, because that's when I found out. But yeah.
Yeah, I'm just bummed that I'm not going to be able to finish the character themes because I just started doing character themes for the shows.
Mm.
But it also means I'm going to be back and forth between Court of Swords and Star Wars for a little while. So the Star Wars show will get all the character themes done for
Look,
sure by the
You
time
can
the
you can
over.
do an Agrim character theme. You just have to get an 8-string guitar and go full Mick Gordon.
Got one.
Oh hell yeah!
Yeah.
He's like 8-string guitar. I got a 16-string guitar,
Eight
like
strings.
8 strings.
Jack
all right.
Black from the Tenacious D movie.
Yeah, man.
It's got like
It's 2 guitars in
what
one.
was
It was
Kyle Gass playing the guitar
Yeah.
that had the legs.
Yeah.
of the legs.
Fucking- if you want like what that was a stereotype or what that was a satire of, there's a guitar player from a band called Speed, I think.
Yeah, I think I've seen it.
Michelangelo Badio has like a dual necked 2 F1 airplanes from the top view, and that's where what the bodies are, and then the necks are like that, and then he's got another one that's like 4 necks. That's like
That's crazy.
it's insane.
Yeah, I'll post this in the
Yeah.
fucking chat because it's like
The open leg
It's way too
guitar is
funny.
hilarious.
it's way too funny.
And
Like,
it's the one where he
like-
makes the guy's head explode, right?
Yeah,
What's
Master
it? What's it?
Exploder.
Master Exploder. Thank you. I can think of the name.
Yeah,
It's-
but
Kyle Gass is a treasure, really.
Yes, he is.
yeah. Also, I'm still freaking working on this Super Nintendo album that's turned into an album, not just like an EP. So that'll be out whenever I have time to do personal work.
Pepper gets around to it.
So, yeah. That's it from me.
Speaking of
Just-
people who get around to doing things, Spootnik, how you doing? You have fun tonight? You seem like you're a little drained.
Yeah. No, I had a good time tonight. It's just I'm very tired. been working a lot this week. Probably going to be working a lot for the next few weeks. But you know, I want to continue to do this as long as I can. It's just things are weird these days. So, but yeah, I don't even know what I was gonna say. I'm tired.
You know, speaking of someone who's tired,
this morning.
Atomikspoon.
See, yes, as someone with a chronic fatigue problem, let me tell you, I'm not doing a whole lot. Just I'm tired. Still got to finish up all the shit in my office. I've just been sick the past couple days. Like my normal sick, nothing related to the incident. But yeah, you can catch me here on Wednesdays. You can catch me on Sundays now for our Rogue Trader game that people apparently are really enjoying. And then you can catch me on Pondo's channel on Sundays for some 5e Gestalt stuff that's going pretty good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's pretty much all I'm doing these days.
Dave.
Hey.
As you're known, Dave from ModDB.
Oh,
Dave
man,
from
that was
ModDB, now with a Coty.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know, the Coty, the you know, the goatee's like a preemptive facial hair cut.
Was the goatee your decision or your wife's decision?
I mean, like, so I did the thing where I left my hair too long to get it cut before things started. So
The incident.
had to get my hair cut, and I just figured I'd change my look up while I'm doing it, you know. So
Now you're stuck with that.
One of these days, I'm gonna show up with a baby face, and you guys are gonna be
No,
I'm not gonna know who you are.
Jim from
WebDM.
Jim from WebDM shaped his beard, and I'm just like, no, this is wrong. I can't.
So the other thing is too, the reason why I grew a beard mostly, because I used to, when I was a lot thinner, I used to not have beard at all, ever. I used to shave every day. But I've lost all of the stuff that was down here now that I've lost like the 30 odd kilos that I did. So I feel a lot more comfortable without a beard now because of it. So, but having said that, like, guys, like, I don't know, like, I need to play more D&D or something like that, like, because these days I'm just like going a little stir crazy, being stuck in my mind all this time. Because normally my work life is super separated from my home life, but nowadays they're all coming together.
It all mixes up.
bringing back
Mixes
those
up.
streamer feelings. Like, I don't know what the fuck I'm doing.
I know how you feel,
living and
Dave.
working
Like,
in the same space.
I get people a lot like, man, it'd be great to stay at home all the time like you do. I'm like, no, it isn't, because like there's somebody who's stuck at home regardless of the incident. I'm like, you run out of stuff to do super quick. Like, you'd be surprised how fast. And the worst person to be stuck alone with is yourself. Like, so I know that feeling 130%, Dave, and it drives me batshit crazy.
It's not even that, like, because normally when I'm home from work, I just don't do work, right? But these days it's kind of like, because it's not just me that's working from home, it's all my employees as well. And every single one of them is like, oh, I can just work later or whatever. And that means I have to fucking work later because of it too. Like, if I want to get like a new iteration of like some tech that we're working on for a game, like a new prototype or something like that, I have to be up at like 9 p.m. doing work, because that's like, hey, Dave, here's a new build, 9 p.m. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? I'm trying to like not lose my mind here.
Just implement like regular work hours. Like, you end at 6.
No, you can't do that because I have employees that have kids. It would be like,
oh, that's true. Yeah.
Like, it's a bad situation for everyone, but at the same time, I'm luckier than most, so I can't complain too much. But
I might steal your trick of like having lights that I can change color of, because just changing little like shifts of environment stuff might help me separate like the work and
Or the other thing is to like actually put on like work clothes at home and then take them off. Like that actually helps.
Oh yeah,
quite a lot too.
I saw a great thing where it's like professionals recommend people try to maintain as much of their daily thing as possible. So they said a New Yorker, and it was a guy playing it's just a bunch of people and whatever, and he was standing in his bathroom holding the thing, just standing like he on the subway.
I saw one like that where like it was like 3 guys in the same house, and one guy was in the shower stall doing that, and then another guy would walk up outside the shower stall with his phone. Just like, and then one guy would get out and he'd get in the shower stall, and like another guy would rush in and like try to get in shower stall,
like with a briefcase or something. Yeah, it's just fun. There are a lot of, I mean, some good memes have come out. Man. So I mean, that's.
I have a tangent point to this I'd like to share. Yeah. Honestly, since the incident started, except for not going to the gym regularly anymore, almost nothing has changed for me, and I feel like that's bad. I feel like I need to get a fucking life after this is over.
Nothing in like material has changed for me, but there's like a general sense of anxiety that makes it harder for me to
it's everything is absolutely fucking terrible all the time now.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I'm used to walking away from people, not talking directly at their faces, generally treating them as if they're a plague rat who might kill me. So in that case, nothing changed for me, except now when people approach me at grocery stores, I'm like, are you fucking kidding me right now? I normally wouldn't talk to you. Approach me now, I'm gonna pull out some mace, motherfucker. Just stand back.
So the other problem that I'm having right now, I literally got like the 10-kilo box of Gloomhaven because I had a birthday like a couple of days ago.
Congratulations.
Happy birthday.
I didn't know that.
I'm now 31 years old.
Wow.
Yeah, I had one on the 17th, but it was I'm now 27.
Listen to these people stealthing birthdays. What's wrong with you?
I don't celebrate my birthday.
You kind of have to in the times that we live. But I got Gloomhaven, and the guy that I normally play board games with collaborated with my wife and got the expansion for it as well. So now I have this fucking enormous game, and the people that I normally play the game games with, like you know, literally my next door neighbor, basically, due to social separation, we can't fucking play this game, and it's driving me fucking insane. But
just get a plexiglass, like a stand-up thing. Put it like separate your table with it.
Yeah, maybe.
Well, you got like the quarantine safe rooms on both sides.
But, you know, and there was a little bit of anxiety for me because in order for me to get paid from my investors, I have to be there to sign documents for transfers. And luckily for me, I was able to do power of attorney to give a lawyer who physically had to be there power of attorney for this one document. So that I don't have to go there and do this thing. But so now we got our second wave of funding for Kinky. So I'm fucking ecstatic, which means that I can keep making the games that I need to make. And we've also started the second phase of Kinky as well. So that's another payment that's coming in as well. And everything is real good. We've had to pivot a couple of times with the games. So, you know, we found a new artist for our Expose Night game, and we have to like work out because we got we had a guy that I paid to do animation work and modeling work for our 3D game, and he fucked off for 2 months and didn't do anything, and it put us behind. So then I had to find I found a new set of models, and they're okay. We can't change the faces too much, so the faces are very similar, but the thing that we're stuck in now is we can't find like animations, like the adult animations. Someone has to animate that shit. So now we have to pivot that game again to include less of it, but like make just in general the game more lewd to make up for it. So there's a bit of pivoting going on with the projects right now, but everything's on schedule and looking good and stuff. So
you can't hit up some of those like Overwatch guys, like the Overwatch source filmmaker,
the
porno guys, and be like, "Hey, are these stock animations, or do you buy them somewhere?"
No, they're hand animated. They're made in Blender and stuff like that. But the thing is, those people, they come at a premium cost, and we're trying to make this game on a budget. After we make our first game sales and stuff like that, then we can sort of look at the income and be like, okay, now we can actually spend time building products.
Now we can get Aerosito.
Well, I mean, I love the dude, but
Dave's like, now that we have AAA funding, we could finally afford Aerosito. We got a $26 million art budget, and shit, really?
Yeah. But I mean, even then, like, I don't like. I would rather work with people who have game-ready asset experience.
Sure.
And also, he's fucking expensive as shit.
Yes, he is.
If you can get someone to pay you that
good,
much, and like,
Yeah.
it sounds like he can.
Yeah.
That's what you got to do.
See, that's it. That's the thing.
Creme de la
And
creme.
We've got a
Cream of the
really good
crop.
artist. His name is Carlos. He's fucking awesome. Basically, if you've seen any of the Pieces of My Heart game art, which is like the most popular shit we have, that's all him. He does that like perfectly.
Oh, that's that
And,
premium shit that you got?
Yeah,
you know?
that's that premium shit.
That
If you
premium.
and he does like his style is like lighting, like real good lighting. Like he spends a lot of time in shading and lighting and stuff, and it looks fucking smicko. But yeah, go check out the Twitter account. Go there, follow that shit, because we're updating that every couple of days or every day. I try to do it every day. I'm not much of a social person, but man, I tell you what, if you want to grow a Twitter account, just post videos. That's it. That's all you got to do. It's real simple. Like I can't believe how quickly we've grown that. We're like 1,500 followers now, and it's been up for like a month and a half. So it's doing pretty good. So
Nice.
anyway,
Okay.
That's me.
I've got a new show called Battletech Oath of Steel. It's already become the #1 series on my channel in the last 5 weeks. Go watch it.
Seems like wargaming seems to be your bread and butter these days.
You
more
know,
than D&D.
it feels like it's
There's-
hard to be unique in the D&D community, and if you're not Matt Mercer or Adam Koval or Matt Koval, it's hard to get noticed.
Well, like,
But I'm the only
D&D
person in the BattleTech community doing BattleTechs.
Yeah, because D&D is like, you don't need very much to just like do a D&D stream. They're
Yeah.
pretty standardized. People can do them. You put a hell of a lot of effort into like making Tabletop Simulator do BattleTech. So it's like,
Well, that's the thing. We put effort in, and then people saw the effort that we took, and we're like, how can we make this available to the community? And they did it. And I
Yeah.
was like, hey, this is that stuff. And people were like, okay, we know that the stuff exists, but how do you put it together? And I was like, all right, fine. I'm going to make a 6-minute video. It's going to take me 8 hours to edit.
dude,
And I did it. I was like, all right, this is how I prep for a stream. The video is literally, there's no extraneous talking. There's no extraneous movement. It's literally boom, 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 boom. That's it.
Yeah.
It's becoming one of the most popular videos on my channel over the
Dude.
last 2 months.
make a fucking BattleTech preparation Patreon tier, $2. Fucking do it.
I gotta tell you, honestly, it's so weird. I hear people saying, like well, first I hear other streamers that are like, I'm giving up. I'm just gonna pajama stream from now on. And I'm like, man, I wonder if I should do that. Just, show up in a bathrobe or something. Just fucking give up on
Sounds
life.
pretty good.
I hear people saying they're losing subs. They're losing Twitch subs. They're losing Patreon. They're stopped getting direct donations. My direct donations have never been high. I normally don't get any. Like in calendar 2019, I think I got 1 donation. Since the
there's,
beginning
like-
of the year, I've gotten a bunch of donations. My
Yeah.
subs are up almost 30%. I've got like 10 new Patreoners in the last 3 months. I don't know what's fucking going on, man.
It's because like
Weird.
there's people that are just like thirsty for content right now because there's not
Oh,
much
yeah.
else to do. A lot of people are out
Agree.
of work, and you're
Dude,
at
we
like
should do that Cyberpunk campaign already. Let's do it.
Yeah. I got everything fucking ready to go. I got half a cast ready. I got 2 people who are already signed up. Man,
Dude, all
we
we
need
need
the
to-
goddamn
just-
rules.
Just start with CD. Just start with Red.
All I
the-
gotta
the-
tell
the
you,
starter
Dave,
pack.
this is what needs to happen. You, a car, a gun, you go to the fucking offices in Poland, just be like, release the game, the tabletop RPG, or else I'm holding this lobby hostage.
Nah, man, they're not there. It's in America. They're in America. They're an American company that makes the thing. So you do it.
Did I hear the word crusade?
Yeah, I'm not going outside. Are you crazy? That's it. That's all I
Don't
have.
worry,
from-
your guns will protect you from the
I don't.
incident.
No. I cleaned my rifle and
Oh, yeah.
I used a bore cleaner instead of something in the barrel, and it got stuck in there, and I had to take it to the armory yesterday. And he was like, "Did you put the bore thing in here?" And I was like, "Yes." And he was like, "That's not how you're supposed to do it." And I was like, "I was watching a YouTube video. You know, I'm an engineer. I just follow instructions. I want to understand what's going on." He's like, "You shouldn't have done that."
All my rifle ones, it has like a brass weight on the end, so you thread it down the barrel and then you pull it through. But
Yeah,
it's
this
like,
isn't
it's
going anywhere.
Yeah, mine's like because I have one for my 7.62 rifle, and it's like the string thing or whatever. It's like, I don't know, 2.5 times the length of the barrel, so it can't get stuck unless you just intentionally get it stuck in
No,
there.
this is a rod, and it's basically never coming out.
I don't use the rod stuff. I just use the big string ones.
Yeah,
and it always works.
So someone's buying a new barrel if they want.
No, it's
Yeah, I'm hoping not. They said
No, it
it
won't
probably
take-
would be fine.
yeah,
But
it'll be fine.
The thing is, that is my large rifle, and I've never felt like I needed it more than today and yesterday. So I do have other guns, but they're smaller, and they don't shoot as large of bullets. Very sad.
I have
Actually,
like
probably shoot some, like larger bullets. Technically,
I have a wooden block of kitchen knives. That's my only.
wooden block
Yeah,
of kitchen
well,
knives.
I
never get into a
I
knife
had
fight.
internet stalkers that were finding out my real life address, and that was when I decided to start getting guns.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then things snowballed from there, because then I was like, well, everyone around me is fucking insane. I'm going to get another gun. And then I was like, man, shit's getting really real. I'm going to go get a rifle now. It's time. It's time to get a
Yeah.
rifle.
I go to
And that
before,
was like 8 months ago.
before the incident. I went to the range probably once to twice a month.
I can't go to my
all the
range
time.
anymore. Atomic?
Yeah, I know.
My
well,
range is
you
full
know,
of white nationalists.
Yeah, I know.
They
Well,
were
it's,
recruiting
you know,
people to attack white people, or to attack
Yes.
politicians in Maryland and Delaware.
That's one of the best
Fucking
things I love.
insane.
Like, it's one of the great things about Florida. I mean, one of the few things is there's county-owned ranges there, and
Hey boys, can we? Sorry, can we? Wrap
Yeah,
this-
we're going to wrap up
yeah,
now.
don't get me started on a tangent.
Hey, the string guitar weighs a couple pounds. I could take someone out with that.
You can do that.
All right, Left 4 Dead.
All right,
No need to
all
wreck a
right,
guitar.
Frank West.
Hey, man.
We'll be back next week, guys. Have a good night.
Later.